Okay, so welcome to another video tutorial of the Baguette shop, and we will continue working from where we stopped in our last video tutorial. And so today I'm hoping that we're going to be making two things. One is to design the final design for the user, which would be for the user to choose the bread size and the bread type they would like. So obviously you know that we had that choice right here. And we're going to be designing a screen for the user to be able to see those options. And then finally, we're also going to be creating a form, which is the order form, so that the user can be able to place the order in terms of choosing the filling, the extra filling they would like, because the shop does provide the standard filling. So they would choose the extra filling they like. And also they would be able to choose the salad they would like, which is the second screen after viewing the, so we're basically putting in the baguette. So what we have basically now, just to run this really quickly, is when we click on the user, it goes directly to the user form, which is what's going to happen in a few minutes. So there it is. And then we put in the user name, which is user, and then the password, user123, and then the password, which would be, so that's for the administrator. I'm just going to go to the user section. It's going to be user123 at. So once that information is put in, it says authentication valid. So it moves on to the next page, as you can see, which is the Baguette ordering filling page. When we click on next, it moves on to the next page, which would be the salad options. So this is the salad options page. Now, once we click next, it's going to move on to the next page, and that's the one we're going to be working on. And that's going to be the page that would show the user the type of bread sizes that are available, the baguette bread sizes, and the type of breads that are available. And after that page, we're hoping to then move on. And so this page is very versatile. It goes next, it can go back, it can go next again, and it can go back home. So it just moves back and forth. And I think this is quite loading right now, but anyways, that button is supposed to be functional in that way. So when we do create the next thing, which would kind of look like this, would have the bread types at the top, and then would have the two options for the bread sizes, and then we'll have like this buttons that go next, so it can go to the next thing, which would obviously be the baguette bread sizes and the baguette bread types. And then it will also have a back and a home. So yeah, and that's pretty much, and then from there we move on to the form, and that's the form that we're going to be creating, and that's all for the user section. And then we go to the administrator section, and that's where I'm going to cut it a little bit down. For the administrator section, we're just going to allow the administrator to be able to monitor sales. So basically the administrator is just going to be able to see, is going to be able to upload any order of a customer, because we're assuming these orders are going to be downloaded to the server, to the database. But we're going to use the function of downloading them as text files, which you will see. And so the administrator can upload those text files and be able to see the order, and that's what will happen on the administrator screen. So we're going to cut the project down into a bit less of coding time, just because we need to move to another one, and we're going to practice more about how we use file handling with JavaScript. So let's get started. First thing we need to do is we need to design our screen that's going to be showing this 30 centimeter, 15 centimeter, and the type of breads. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go to the Lunapic website. So I'm going to open up lunapic.com. And we're going to start working on the design. So first thing I want to do is to find some pictures. So 30 centimeter baguette bread. If I can get anything that would work, that would be great. So we need a 30 centimeter baguette bread. I think this is pretty great. I can actually use this, so I'm just going to save it right away. And I like the fact that it does have the measurement. Even if it's not an image, I can always convert it. So I'll just call this 30 centimeters. So get your pictures downloaded first. 15 centimeter baguette bread. Let's see what we can get here. If we can get another one that's with measurement, it will be great. I guess I'm getting something like this. I probably would get something like this. That does show the bread's a little bit shorter than the 30 centimeter one. So I'm going to save this one. So just get like pictures that would really help. So I'm going to write 15 centimeter. I just want to quickly check my original search just to see if I can get anything that's a 30 centimeter that perhaps would look a bit longer. Perhaps I can save this. So I'm changing my mind on my picture. So I'm going to use this one for 30 centimeters. So it doesn't have like the text on it. Now go back to your computer, of course, and then make sure you have all those pictures. So I'm just going to take out this one. As you can see, this is clearly showing 30 centimeter. That is pretty longer than the 15 centimeter one, which is quite short. So what I'm going to do next is we need to look for the different breads. So we need white, brown, and seeded bread. So again, going back to searching that, so I'm going to say white baguette bread if I can get anything. And I think this is pretty great. So white baguette bread could be something like this. I'm just going to save this as white. So just get all your pictures downloaded. And then we're going to be getting the other one, which is brown baguette bread. So brown as well. Oops, brown there. And so hit enter and yeah, and so we get brown baguette bread, so something brownish in color. We could get that one. I could also get that one. Actually, there was a really nice one that was showing here. I can actually get these ones and use it. So I'm just going to say brown. So just download all the pictures. And then the last one we need is the seeded, which I think this is really good. So it's seeded exactly. So it does really call for what we need next. Just trying to get a clear picture of seeded baguette bread. I think we can go with, let's see, they're pretty nice pictures. Okay, this one kind of looks good. So I'm going to save it as seeded, or I'd rather search if I can get something else. Seeded baguette bread. Ooh, there are a lot of choices here. I think this is the one we already saw. There's this one. There's a couple of choices. I need something that's a little bit clear and nice looking. Let's see if this one's going to clear up. Okay, I think I'm going to use this one. So save this as seeded. Now, once I've saved you saved all your photos, you notice that I now have all my photos saved. So these are the breads that I'm now going to be using. This is the one's going to be the seeded. That's the brown. This is the white. This is the 30 centimeter. And this is the 15 centimeter. So now what you want to do is to take out the backgrounds very quickly. So we go to the popular website we normally use, pick resize, sorry, not pick resize, remove background, remove BG. If you search it online, you'll be able to get it. I'm just going to quickly upload these photos and take out the background so it doesn't have any background. And as I do that, I'm just going to be renaming them as well. So this one's now the brown one, so I'll just call it B. And I'll just delete the old one. And kind of repeat this for the pictures because you want the pictures to sync nicely in your background. So I'm just doing it for all of them. Now I'm doing it for the 15 centimeter one. So I'm just going to refresh and then kind of delete the old one so we don't have a mix of all these photos. And this is going to be the 15 centimeter one. Okay, so I have the B, the 15 centimeter one, going back again and uploading again photo. I'm going to do the 30 centimeter one. And yeah, and so I'm going to download this one. And now I have the 30 centimeter one. So I'm just going to delete the old one, keep the new one, and kind of do this for the rest until you get everything. So now I have a 30 centimeter one that has no backgrounds, the brown bread also. So I just have the seeded and the white bread to do. So I'm going to go back and upload for the seeded bread. So that's going to be this one. And I'm just going to, again, download it. I'll call it S, or you can call it seeded again if you want. So delete the old one. And then this one's just going to be called S bread or S. And then finally, I have the white bread to upload. So I'm going to select white, which is this one. And then, of course, I'll take out download. And finally, that is done. So once you've finally taken out all the backgrounds for your pictures and your pictures are now ready, so you are now ready to go, of course, to LunaPic and then, of course, design your background that's going to be for bread selection choices. And one thing to take note of is just keep consistency with your design that you already have. So same background, same style of everything. So I'm just going to go back and I'll go to files. So one thing I do want to check is I do have okay, I thought I did have like a background already ready, but I don't. So I'm just going to go to File, a new blank image. So it's a good thing to kind of keep the backgrounds because you want to have that same background from your previous design. I'm going to go to borders. I already had the borders is red. I'm going to go to text and just take note. I wrote Baguette ordering system. So I'm just going to keep that consistency there. So Baguette ordering system. And then for all of them, it kind of has, here's a list of the salad options we have for the salads. And then for the fillings, it was like, here are the list of the filling options we offer. So I'm just going to say here are the list of the different type of bread options that we offer. So it keeps like to that consistency. So first of all, oops, I think I forgot to apply my border. So apply it, then go to text, and then you can write the whole Baguette ordering system. And of course, now I have my text in here, so I'm just going to change the style of my text. I think I used Jelly Roman. No, it was not. I'm trying to get lobster regular. It was in this one. Trying to get my font, which I forgot what I used, but I'm pretty sure it's one of these ones. It's not the chonker. It's not lobster regular, permanent marker. Nope. It's not that. Jelly Roman. No. I think it was chubby. Yeah, it was chubby. So I got my font and I have my title right here, and it's exactly how this is looking like. Of course, we can increase the size if you want. I'm pretty sure I increased it a little, or maybe not, because then if I increased it, it would, I think I did increase it a little. Yeah, it was kind of increased because I can see the text is occupying the entire space. So I'm just going to leave it at 80 and then, of course, just apply text. The next thing I want to do is to put in this text that says, here are the list of the bread options we offer. So here are the list of the bread size and type options. Or you can just say, here are the list of the bread options we offer, just to cut the text a bit shorter. And then, you know, put the colon. And then I will put that as a blue color, just keeping that consistency going, and reduce the size, obviously maybe to about 50, just to see how small that gets. I think I need to take it a little bit more to 30. And yeah, and so this is pretty good. So yeah, so I have this done. Now I'm just gonna go back and just take a look at how the other one looks like. And once you're done, you click on apply text, and that's all. And then don't forget to come down here and click on save copy image to clipboard, because you want to start putting in these photos and start listing them out. So first thing I want to do also is very important, is I want to say bread types. So I should have said that, in fact, and then that's fine. I want to say bread types, and then I want to say bread sizes, so that there's a difference there. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to write something like bread types, so there's a differentiation between the two. And the user is clear about what they're selecting, like clear about the options available. So I'm going to do something like bread types over here, and then just put those bread types, and then I'll have the bread sizes. And I need some space in the middle because I want to be able to put those buttons as well. So I'm going to do bread types, and then maybe just make it 50 so it's a bit more visible. So bread type's going to appear here, and then I'll just put down here, I'll be like, so I'll try to, I need to do a little bit of calculation here because I need space. And now that I've put this text in here, it's kind of occupied some space, and also this one. So what I think I'm going to do is just apply this first, and then let's copy this to clipboard, and then just go and upload the pictures. Let's start with the bread types. So I'm going to go starting with the brown bread, and then click on open. Don't forget to copy this also to clipboard, and then go back and open up your previous background from the undo history section, and then of course now go to effects and blend to images. Try to make this image as small as you can, well, of course, to be visible enough, but then to be small really, because you need that space, and because we need buttons, we need to put somewhere next, and even if we change the style, but we kind of need space. So if I can make this a bit more wider and kind of move it up. And then of course you need some space to put in the seeded bread or brown bread, that kind of option. So I think this is pretty good. So I'm just going to keep it like that. And once you're done, click on apply. Then don't forget to click on copy image to clipboard, and kind of repeat this for the remaining two bread types. So now I'm going to do the seeded bread. So I'll open that image up and then of course copy image to clipboard, go back to my original design with the first bread option that I've already installed or inserted, go to effects and then blend two images together. So now I'm going to reduce the size again of this picture and try to get it here so I can, I think this size is pretty good. Just so it's visible enough for them to see that it is actually a bread and and understand as well. So I think I'm going to keep mine here and then the third one's going to go over here. So once you're done, just click on apply. And then again, you've applied it. Now you need to go and copy image to clipboard, upload, select, browse. And now I'm doing the white bread. So now I'm going to save this to copy image to clipboard and I'm going to go back and open up my design again. And then of course, repeat the process of effects, blend two images together. And then now I just need to resize this white bread as well, get it all the way to the top there, perhaps make it a bit smaller so it's kind of matching with the other sizes. And yeah, and so these are the bread types. So now I just need to put the names and that's pretty much it. And then I need some space down here. So I'm thinking that I'm going to put the names at the top and try to just make them small, or even I could just because I'm going to put something that says bread sizes here. And so this one, I'm just going to click apply. And now what I'm going to do is go back to the text option and I'm just going to write the first one as brown bread. Okay. And then of course, just try to go back to the same style, chubby, and then maybe make this 30, size 30. So it's like brown bread over here. And then put like, I want to keep a consistency. So I think I'm just going to put the text at the bottom just because I don't want to put it like on the top because then I can't really put something down here. It doesn't look so good. So at the bottom's going to go well. So this is brown bread. I'm going to change the color to, let me see if I can get a different, I don't really want to change the colors too much. So I'm just going to keep it as blue. And that's the brown bread right there. So I'm going to apply that. The other one is the seeded bread. So I'm going to write that down. So seeded bread. And then put that down here as well, just trying to keep that arrangement nicely and then apply. The last one is the white bread, so I'm just going to write that down and again, just get the text written and place it right here. So place it really nice. And then that's pretty much it. So we now have all the bread types written down properly, and now we're going to do the bread sizes, even though you might think there's no space. But we're going to squeeze it in. So bread sizes, so we don't have to create a separate screen. I mean, you can create a separate screen, but we're trying to avoid doing that. So I'm going to go back to red color and perhaps increase this to, I think it was 40. No, not 540, just 40. So that was kind of the size. I think it was much bigger than that. It probably must have been 50 then. Let's try to do 50. And so, yeah, it was definitely 50. So the bread sizes, what I'm going to do is I need space here to put in buttons that's going to be like next and back home. So I just need like 2 button spaces. And that's pretty much it. I just need 2 buttons that's going to be in the middle. So here I'm going to keep it as bread sizes. And then I'm just going to say apply. And then now I'm just going to copy image to clipboard again and pretty much just go back to the upload option, browse again, and now I'm taking the 30 centimeter one first. You can take any one you want and then copy image to clipboard, go back again, click on my original design and then blend 2 images together. And so I'm going to put this to the side as much as I can because I need the middle so I can put in some buttons. So I'm going to just take this to the side right here, and I need some space as well because I want to be able to write down the name, so 30 centimeters. So this is going to be like where it's going to be, so around here. And also don't make it too big because you want it to fit the other sizes of the breads you have. So I think this is pretty okay. I'll bring it down a little and then I'll say apply. And then the last one is the 15 centimeter one. So copy image to clipboard, upload again, browse again, and select the 15 centimeter one, open, and then of course copy image to clipboard, and then click on original design, effects, and blend 2 images. And that's pretty much it. So you're done with the whole designing thing of the final screen for the user to select from, to have an option of the choices of what the Baguette shop's offering them, so they know what to place when they're doing their order form. So yeah, so these are the sizes. So I'm just gonna now basically just, apply and then just put in the text, and that's pretty much it. So I'm just trying to get them aligned properly. So click apply. Now just put in the name. So I'm going to go back to text and write 30 centimeter length. Okay. And then just put that in here. So it's going to be at the bottom. Obviously change the text to match. So this is going to be chubby. And definitely, I think I went with 40. So I'm going to do that. So yeah, so put that over here. That's going to be 30 centimeter. I think it was 30 rather than 40 because 40 seems a bit too big. So yeah, it was 30 centimeters. So just going to put it over here and then click on apply, of course. So I'm just going to say apply text. And then the other one was 15 centimeters length. And that's going to be for the other bread. And of course, that's going to be also applied down here. So once that's done, you're pretty much done. There is a logic why we left space in here because, like I said, that's where we're going to be putting in the buttons. Is going to say next, so they can go to the next page, which is the order page, and then home, which they can go back home if they want. So that's pretty much it. That's all for this page. This is the final user selection or final page for the user to see what the shop offers. Now click on save, and it's going to download for you. And this page, I'm going to call it bread. And what we'll do is go back to our program and of course, just upload the file. And so I'm going to go all the way to downloads and it's right there. And so now we have it as bread. So what's going to happen is we go back to the salad page, and the salad page, I think it's user access to. That was what we made last time in our video tutorial. And you realize that once it says next, it's opening the user page, which is the login page. And we don't want it to open the login page now that we have the bread. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to user access to.html and not link it to the user page. Instead, I'm going to link it now to the bread. And so the bread, that's something else we have to do. I'm going to call this, instead of user page, because we have to create this page, I'm just going to call it bread choice. Okay, so bread choices. And that's the page that we have to create right now. So I'm just going to create it, click on this new file option, and then just write exactly what you wrote. So breadchoices.html. Remember that we have to have a style for this, and I'm pretty sure that we have a style for everything. We've done the style for the salad. So I'm just going to do the same thing for the bread choices, and that's going to be this salad, the style for that you have for the salad, which is basically where you just put the background picture for the salad, as you can see here, is I'm just going to duplicate that. So just click on the 3 dots and then say duplicate. And I'm just going to call that style 5. And that's kind of what I'm going to link to this bread choices page. And so if you go back to the user access to.html page, you basically have the link right here, which is where you're connecting it to the style 4. This is for the salads, of course. So you need the same thing for the bread choices. So I'm just going to copy. It's easier if you copy all the way to just copy everything from your salad page. Copy the whole code. That means from your user access to.html page, or if you've called it something else, where it's the salad page, and just paste it into your bread choices. And then, of course, this is going to be the bread choices page. So you just change the title and change the name of your link style sheet. And don't forget that we've now created style 5, and that's going to be for the bread choices. But we have to change the name of the picture because we're not opening the salads pictures anymore. We're now opening the bread.png picture. So here as well, when you go back to the style 5, you want to change the name of this picture, and I'm going to remove it, and it's going to now be bread. So I'm just going to change it to now become bread.png. That's all. So you just copy paste because the process is the same. So now we have this style 5 that is now related to this bread choices. We also kept, if you notice, we kind of kept the buttons the same. We have a next. We don't need a back necessarily unless you want to keep it. So let's just see, because we could just need a next and a home, but we can still keep the back because then you may want to go back to the previous screen to have a look at the salads and go back to the filling screen or whatever. So we want to keep the navigation going. So right now we have connected this properly to the bread choices.html. So let's run this and see how everything works so far. And then we can make changes to the way the buttons are on the screen for the bread choices. So I've clicked on user. Now, of course, we have to put in the username. So user123. And of course, the password user123@. Okay, and then now click on login, authentication valid. Okay, so that means the page is going to change to move on to the next one. And it's a little bit slow, but it's going to move on. And so the next page, remember, is the one that would be for the fillings. Okay, so it's getting that page ready. Okay, so here it is. So we are now in the filling section, and now we click on, so from here, the user gets to see the fillings available. Click next. It's going to go to the next page, which is the salad page. And then from the salad page, of course, that's the one that we're going to be checking when we click next. Do we get to the bread choices? So here I've already clicked next. It's just loading up. So let's give it some time. Okay, so now we're on the salad page, and then we're going to click on next, and then we've gone to the bread page. So this is great. The only thing is we definitely need to move these down. As you can see, this is the bread page showing nicely, but then the buttons are kind of like two up. So we can move them slightly down. So I'll start with the one that says home. So this is the part right here. Make sure you're on the breadchoices.html tab. And then you can bring it down. So further down would mean the top. And so that would mean probably at, let's try bringing it down to maybe 590. I'm kind of curious to get it down to 590, and then let's see how, or maybe because it was 520, maybe 570. Let's not take it too down. We just need to move them slightly down and they fit well. So I'm just going to go run again. So we have to start the whole thing all over again because then we're going to go all the way to the bread choices part. So we're going to go from here and we're going to go to the user again. So user123. I forgot to put the 123 part. And then, okay, so user 123. And then here's going to be user 123@. Then, of course, login, authentication valid. So it's a bit faster now, which is good. So click next. And then moving down to the salad options, click next. And now we're moving into the bread option. So that's kind of the one that I wanted to see. So clicking on next, I've already clicked on it. So it's loading. Okay, I see the home's gone down, significantly down. So that means I know what to do now. So I'm not going to make it 70, maybe 550 here. And then here I can make it come down to like probably at 500. And then here could like come down to like 450. So let's see how that works. So I'm going to run it again. Click on user again. So we're trying to get those buttons right. And also we have to connect them properly because the back button has to now go back to the salad screen. So it can't be on user access. We have to check what the salad user access was, the filling screen. So the salad screen was user access 2. So we're going to have to make that change. And also home still stays the same because it goes back home to the index page. So that we're not going to change. So again, clicking on login. So it's logging me in. And now I'm on the fillings option. Click on next. And then I'm moving on to the salad screen. And then click next. And now I'm moving on to the bread screen. So let's see how everything works and looks so far now with the changes that I've made. If there's anything that we still need to make changes on. So it's loading the bread screen right now. And ooh, that looks perfect. But let's just hope that that's not interfering with anything. Yeah, that is perfect. So if you want to move these buttons slightly more to the left side, you can, of course. You just have to decrease this value, and it moves a little bit more to the left. So I actually would like to try that. So if you want to do that, go ahead and do that. If you're okay with that, then the way it is, which I think I'm kind of okay with it, but if you want to change, then go ahead and do so. Just to save the time, I'm going to keep it this way. Now, if we click next, nothing really happens because, well, on the bread choices, the next button I forgot to mention is actually not connecting to the bread choices. It was supposed to be the one for the order form. So I'm just going to call it order. Because the user access to was the one that we had to change when we clicked next to open the bread choices, because that was the one for the salads. Okay, it was the salad page. Now, the bread choices page, the next is supposed to go to the order form, which is what we're going to be working on doing. And then from there, the back is supposed to now go back to the user access to, because that's the salad page. So here we'll just add the two. So it goes back to the salad page, and then we have home. And so from the salad page, you can go back again and you can see so we're going to try it and see if it works. And then we can see from the salad page, we go back again and we can see the filling. And then from the filling, you pretty much go next until you go back home. So we just try to make the navigation in this system very functional. So here I'm just going to put at and then click on login. And it's going to tell me authentication valid. Click on next. Well, we have our salad page. Click on next again. I'm not testing these buttons because we've already done that in the salad page in the previous video tutorial. So if you haven't seen that, go and watch the previous video tutorial. So now I'm clicking on next from here. And from here, it's going to open, of course, the bread page. And then, of course, from the bread page, we want to test these. So next is going to lead us to the order page, which we don't have ready. So if I click next, nothing really happens. It's just supposed to lead us to an order page, but we don't have that ready. So we're going to be creating it right now. And then once you see what I mean, it says not found. And then once you click on back, it's going to lead you back to the salad page. So I'm going to run it again one more time. And it's running right now. And we'll click on user again. So let's try, I've just showed you how the next works, and it's leading to no page because we just put the name of the page, but we haven't made it yet. So we're going to be making that. So it's still loading up. While it's doing that, let's talk about, okay, it's done that. So I'm just going to go directly user 123 and then user 123 at. So just make sure all these links are working. Okay, we go to the next page. So that's going to be the salad. And then finally, we go to the bread and we test the back button. So next from the salads. Now let's go back to the bread types page. And then we're just checking the back button, but also checking the home button. I'm pretty sure the home's going to work. So back button, I just clicked on it. It's supposed to take me back to the salad page. So it's still loading up. So the salad page was user access to. That was the name of our salad page. Well, the name that I called my salad page. Make sure you put the correct name in here. So as you can see, it's loading up. So it's taking me to it. Now from here, I'm going to go next directly so I don't have to repeat anything. And then I'm going to click on home. So from here, from the bread type and size page, it's supposed to take me back home. And that's going to be way at the beginning. So as you can see, it does take me home. So everything works functionally. We've got all the screens that we need according to the instruction for the user to choose from. We've got the sizes, the types of bread, the fillings, and the salads. And we pretty much are doing task 1 and task 2. I kind of merged task 2 and 3 together, which is where the administrator is just having to see the sales that the customers have placed. So the administrator has the right to upload those orders that have been placed by the customer, and that's going to be downloaded to the computer system or to the system. So That's done. Now let's talk about the order page. So the order page we're going to be making is one that would have customer name. A simple order page would have the extra filling option choice, and that's going to be a drop down. So we're going to make a drop down for that. It will also have the so it's going to have the extra filling drop down. It's going to have standard filling. Do they want the standard filling? Yes or no? So that's going to be a drop down. And then we're going to have the bread type options. So fillings for salads, those are going to be both drop downs. Also, the baguette sizes would be drop downs and the type of breads would be drop downs. So we need to go and work on creating such a form. So we're going to go back to LunaPick, going back to the, if I can go back more to more history, if you still have this page open, I'm just going to go back to this previous design here, and I'm just going to write customer order form. So I'm just going to go add text. So just keep this design same. If you can download it, we don't really need it except for the administrator. We do for the administrator page. So if you can just click on save and have it downloaded without having anything written on it, that would just save you the time for next time. So right now I just have it blank. Now going back again, we want to create a customer order form. So I'm just going to say order form, just a title right there. And I'm going to put it all the way here and of course change the style of the text. So I'm using chubby style. So I'm going to put chubby right here and then pretty much just that. And I'm going to now put in customer name. I'm going to now put in standard filling. I'm going to now put in extra filling. I'm going to now put in baguette size and then baguette bread type. And that's pretty much it. And then don't forget the salad. So I'm going to reduce the size to like 40 for this order form right here so it doesn't occupy too much space. Maybe a bit more, 50, slightly bigger. And that's it right there. So once I've done that, I'm going to click on apply text. Now the first thing I'm going to write is customer name. So we want to put the customer name. So I'm going to write it down here, somewhere like that. You probably need to size this to 40. So it's not too big and it does not occupy space. Because remember, we have to have customer name, we have to have standard filling, extra filling, baguette salad, baguette size, baguette type, and then of course, we need to have space for the final thing that says download or confirm order. So the order is downloaded and confirmed. So right now, I think I got my customer name. It's going to come over here. So I'm just going to say apply text. I'm going to do the next one, which is standard filling. That's going to be for them to say yes or no. Do they want the standard filling? And then, so I'm just going to put it right there. So the shop, assuming offers the standard filling. So I'm just going to put a colon. So standard filling is over here, maybe slightly down, and then I kind of am calculating space, so I have some space enough. So standard filling is right there, and then click on apply text. The next one is extra filling, and so I already have it here. So extra filling, what would their extra filling choice be? And so we've already shown them the screen, so they get to choose. So here would be extra filling, and so I'm just trying to take it a little bit down. So just there, a little bit extra filling. Apply text. We're going to have salad choice. Okay, so salad. So salad choice. And then, of course, that's going to come down here. And then, of course, we're going to be having, so clicking, make sure it's clicked properly, spaced nicely. Okay, so I have salad choice. Now I'm going to have baguette size. Baguette size, which size of baguette they would like. So I'm just going to say, or you can say, yeah, so baguette size, basically just that. And then finally, I'm going to have baguette bread type, not baguette, bread type. And I think I have enough space to have a button that's going to be confirm order and one that's going to take them back home. So if they don't want to confirm the order, they can always go back home. So, or if they wanted to go back and see something else. So I'm just going to save this as baguette size. And then now I'm going to say bread type. And then of course put that as well. So I have the bread type here. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. I guess I have all the things we need. So we have customer name, standard filling, extra filling, salad choice, bread size, and bread type. So we've pretty much covered everything that we have requested from them. We have shown the customer, and so we've requested. So what I'm going to do is just download this. This is all you need for the order form. So just click on save so it downloads. And of course, now it's going to be downloaded to your computer. I'm just going to call this main because we're going to need it for the administrator page. And then, oops, I'm going to go back and call this one order form. So I'll just say order form. And yeah, and so we have everything ready now. The form's ready. All we have to do is put in those text boxes and drop downs. This is going to be a drop down. This is going to be a drop down. Everything's going to be a drop down except the customer name, of course. So now going back, we are going to upload. So I'm going to click on upload file. I'm going to select this order form and open. So this form is supposed to be the one that would open on order HTML. So that means we have to create, so that's going to be opening from bread choices. So we have to go and click on new file, and then we have to create this order.html. And this is like the final part of the user section. So like the final part, because this is where the user gets to place the order and confirms the order, it goes back home. And then, of course, we have the administrator who now has the right to upload the order that's going to be, once the user clicks on confirm order, their order is going to be downloaded as a text file. So it will be written, their name will be written, every choice that they've made will be written, and the administrator has the right. So we're downloading it now to the computer system, but obviously in reality, that's going to be saved in a database, in a backend. So which you're going to be learning about. How do we save stuff in a backend? So we'll talk about more about text files and about Microsoft Excel sheets and CSV sheets and stuff like that. CSV files, sorry. So right now we're just downloading that order as a text file, and then the administrator has the right to upload that order and be able to see exactly what the customer has, whichever customer they're interested in seeing, because that order is going to be saved in the database. So yeah. So now we've created this order.html, which we've linked up to the next button on the bread choices page, which once they click next, it goes to this order.html. So just hit enter. Now, in this page, you also need to create a style for it. So it has its own style. So you can be able to put in this order.html, let's go back, order form, sorry, .png. You want to put that as the background. So we're going to be duplicating style 5, and then again, click on the 3 dots, duplicate it. This is going to be style 6. So now style 6 is going to be linked to the order.html page. And then, of course, hit enter. And now you have style. Just make sure you're clicking on style 6. Don't make a mistake with the pages. And then, of course, put the name of your design that you just made, which is the order form.png. So I'm going to go there and change it from bread to order form.png. So it's going to be order_form.png. So that's going to link to that page essentially. Well, it's not yet linked, but it will be the style for the order.html page. Now go back to the order.html page, and you're basically just going to copy the same thing that you have in the bread choices, but you don't, so the same thing. So you have you can copy just, I would say, from the head to the body, and then of course, don't forget to also close. I forgot to do something here. Could you close your HTML? That's really important. I think I didn't create that. So please make sure you have the HTML tag created at the beginning, and just make sure you closed it at the end. Really important. So I'm just going to copy everything from the bread. I'm also going to have to fix that mistake in my user access to page, by the way. If you go back to user access to, I think I did not put in my HTML tag. It's a good habit to put your HTML tag, because that's the starting of the HTML page. So the HTML tag over here, and then of course close it by here. And then just make sure I did that for all the rest. I think I didn't do that for all the rest. So yeah, please make sure you put the HTML tag. And then the closing of the HTML usually comes after closing of body. So right there. And I think I have that on user page 2. So it's okay if it's not like it's a bad thing if you don't have it. You already saw it does work without it, but it's a good idea to just put it in there, even though the page is already set to be HTML. Yeah, so I think I have them all in my pages. Order, okay, so the order is not yet ready. I'm going to be making that. Yeah, I have this here. Bread choices, I just put that in. So yeah, so going back to the bread choices, I'm going to copy everything from the bread choices page, just like from the first 6 lines. And obviously I'm not going to put this part of the buttons because we are going to be putting in text boxes and drop down boxes. And so it's going to be a different setting. So I'm just going to paste what I copied from the bread choices page into my order.html. But the body, I'm going to leave it blank right now. All I'm going to do is just close my body right now and then close my HTML, and that's it. So the body is empty because that's where we're going to be putting in those text boxes for the customer name, drop downs for the salad options, filling options, and so on. So right now we have this page. I'm going to change the name. This is the order form. This is the order page, sorry. And so it's linked to style5.css. So make sure you remember what that is. Style5.css, remember, is linked to style6, sorry, not style5. Style5 was for the bread choices. Style6 is the one for the order form. So make sure you go back to the order.html page and make sure you change the style5 to style6 because now we've created a new style for it. So let's run and see if everything works fine. So click on user again, and it's gonna be loading up the user login page. Now type in username. So user123 and user123 at. Okay, and then click on login, authentication valid, click on next. So we're pretty much just going to see if our order page is showing properly because that's the one that's supposed to show after the bread choices. So click on next from your salad page. So this is the salad options page. Now we're going to the bread options page. And then from there, when we click on the next button, it's supposed to link us to the page that we just made, which is the order page. So it's loading. Now give it some time to load. So that's the page that we just made, the order.html. So make sure you remember that. That's for the part of obviously from the bread option. So it's perfectly loaded. So I'm happy with that. Now we need to work on, so this page, the order.html, is exactly what you see in here. We need to put in those text boxes and drop downs. And that's what we're going to be working on inside of this body tag. And then, of course, we need to put in the link that would say confirm order. And then, of course, we need to put something else here that would say home. We can put a button that takes the user back to the home page. So yeah, so that's pretty much what we're going to be working on. So stay tuned for the next video tutorial.